My seeds, man, I put that on me. I make sure they gotta eat on the job, on the streets for my seeds. Young kings, young queens, RBG, red, black, and the green plant seeds. Now that's what I call my team, family over everything. I ain't never out of reach for my seeds. And that's how we gotta be, real ones follow me. Each one, teach one, plant seeds.
Microphone checking my status since I've been crowned father. I grind harder, a wife and 2 daughters. A righteous black God in that red, black, and green. That's balance for the beam, huh? Family over everything. I'm dropping seeds every chance I get, and then I watch them all grow. No magic tricks. Sankofa, you know, bruh, gotta put that on your platter. Don't care about what they say, we say black fathers matter.
When it comes to my seeds, gotta keep that real energy. Literally, every single day create memories. Figuratively, I orchestrate moves like a symphony. Vividly, I sit with these thoughts like epiphanies. Literally, can change the game and make history. Officially, my daughter never see me in a penitentiary. That shit to me, cause all we got is us, all we got is trust. Every day I gotta rush, I don't believe in love. Man, I put that on me. I make sure they gotta eat on the job, on the streets for my seeds. Young kings, young queens, RBG, red, black, and the green plant seeds. Now that's what I call my team, family over everything. I ain't never out of reach for my seeds. And that's how we gotta be, real ones follow me. Each one, teach one, plant seeds.
I'm in the cut like a back street. I let my son ride shotgun while these other suckers take the back seat, and that's the only one that could pass me. Something heavy in my diaper bag, homie, you can match me. Riding down the avenues with the seat back. Who that? Diamondback, proud to be black, that's your daddy. Sitting clean in the rag seat, going hard for my committee and La Familia's mad deep. Black fathers,
Look, I'm from a spot where blacks get rejected. Selling dope and gangbanging get you well respected. Being a felon get you well neglected. Where the black fatherhood challenge was accepted. To show the youth a better route. Teach them right from wrong and what the benefits of life about. Don't get caught up in the streets, you can make it out. Put that on my soul, I'ma show my kids a safer route.
Man, I put that on me. I make sure they gotta eat on the job, on the streets for my seeds. Young kings, young queens, RBG, red, black, and the green plant seeds. Now that's what I call my team, family over everything. I ain't never out of reach for my seeds. And that's how we gotta be, real ones follow me. Each one, teach one, plant seeds.
Today I will conclude our talk on Father and his role. His role is so mighty as the head of his household. His role is so mighty in helping to build a nation that really we could talk all year on Father and never give him enough. But time will not permit us to do that.
Peace, y'all. Welcome to the Seeds of Sun podcast with your girl, Sunshine Monie L. We're waiting a few minutes for my homegirl, Foxxi Roxxi, to pull up. But today's episode, we're talking about some celestial events. If some of y'all wasn't present during the planetary forecast or the hump day reading, I had went through the different celestial events we've experienced since the beginning of September up until the present. We had some really big planetary shifts happening that first week of September, with Venus going prograde the day before Jupiter went retrograde. And Jupiter is in Taurus, Venus is straddling between our third eye in Leo Cancer, Leo zodiac Cancer constellation. So we got to experience that shift within a 24-hour period. And then by the end of that week, we had or the following week, we had Mercury going prograde around the same time. We experienced our Virgo new moon, giving us an opportunity to pay attention to our patterns, habits, and routine, rehashing some really old ones that hopefully gave you guys grace, because I know we've been lacking in the grace department, and giving you enough grace to be more intentional about what you manifest this upcoming year. It may have been very easy to overlook your progress and your space and your endeavors and things like that. So hopefully during this retrograde where you were greeted with some old behaviors and patterns and experiences, you were able to really pay attention to how much you've grown. Damn, if y'all would have did this John a couple years ago, I'd have been slicing heads open, I'd have been cracking necks, or I'd have been doing it. But because you're going through it now in this space and time, you're moving a whole lot different. Please give Was I muted that whole time? While you're giving space to the individuals that giving space to the individuals that are going through these patterns and these habits again, and some of them are not as spiritually inclined or spiritually evolved as you. So while you're sharing this experience with them, you might notice them regressing into their own shit and stuff like that. And you just gotta give grace and be overstanding, empathetic, sympathetic, all that stuff that you need to be to allow them to go through what they're going through. Because you have no idea. Maybe they're evolved from who they were last year, the year before that, going through those patterns again. Maybe they're making different decisions. It's just not on the level of the decision making that you at. So, all of those realizations should have been on the forefront as we deal with those retrogrades going prograde and things of that nature. In addition to that, with all the retrogrades we got going on, we are coming up to our sun entering Libra zodiac energy. We just experienced so if you've been experiencing excuse me, it's going to be a shift happening in your experience this week. So we have, for the next few days, we got the tropical, Vedic, and draconic space all in Virgo. The sun is in Virgo on all three charts right now, and that's happening up until the 23rd, and then the sun will be leaving the Virgo zodiac energy and entering the Libra zodiac energy. So, tropical energy rules over our thought process. So we're moving from the thoughts on harvest into the thoughts on balance, harmony, and justice, paying attention to the heart chakra realm of things, all that fun stuff, entering the last quarter of the fiscal year, all that fun stuff. But however, on the Vedic scale, we just entered Virgo. We entered Virgo on the 18th of September. So your vibrations is still in the realm of harvesting. So all those things that your thoughts were underneath the harvest moon and Mercury going prograde and all that fun stuff, you'll start to see it start to take form in your vibrations. Keep in mind, we are not in the season of fruit. We are in the season of harvest. So keeping yourself in alignment with the netters, like if you're looking for fruit right now, you're in the wrong season, buddy. This is a space where we're working, we're harvesting, we're toiling the soil, we're setting our intentions, we're burying them in the dirt as we come into the dark months, the months where our kundalini goes back down and goes back to sleep underneath the, soil. But there's a lot of work that happens underneath the soil, right? So you have to give trust to the things that are in the unseen as we, make our way towards the solstice, and then we'll start waking up again once we start making ourselves to the next equinox. But as we enter in this equinox, set your intention. Like, what is it that you want to happen while you in the soil, while you covered in the darkness, while you going through, hibernation realms and stuff like that. Now that you've gone through the retrogrades and you've seen how you act in certain experiences and stuff, you can stop asking for the same shit over and over again, because now you really see, like, bro, you've grown. So to keep asking for the same thing over and over again, knowing you've already received these things, is kind of redundant. You haven't been giving yourself grace. When I speak to you, I'm speaking to myself. But you don't want to keep wasting your energy asking for the same stuff over and over again. You already got it. So now it's time to expound or expand on the things that you've already, been working on and stuff like that. So what do you want to expound on? What do you want to expand on? We're bringing harmony into that space as we enter the Leo tropical energy. We'll be in the Vedic Libra energy up until October 18th. And then we'll be in the draconic Libra energy up until October 20th. So your vibration is still on that, on harvesting. And then our soul's desires, our soul's energy, is what the draconic energy covers over, dealing with the pathway of the moon being in alignment with Aries being the new year. We're actually dealing with the draconic reset in our Vedic chart. So you'll see the alignment between the Vedic and the draconic chart being very close to one another at this point, like 2 days apart, with the 18th and 20th difference. Because we have our north and south node in Aries and Libra right now, which is the draconic, standard. with the lunar pathway. So a lot of soul energy, a lot of people's Akashic records, purposes, the Olukun of people is coming to the forefront at the moment, coming to the forefront of us as a collective. So for those of you guys who have been well practiced in the spiritual community and you guys have been mastering the things you've been mastering, it's definitely a time to start a conglomerate, a board or whatever for the mystery schools, innovating these I won't call them churches, but let's, having different kind of temples and things like that for regular fellowship and practicing underneath the celestial bodies. This is a good time to do that because we're going to have another influx of spiritual awakenings happening between now and 2024. We have a lot of big planetary shifts happening in 2024. It'll be our last eclipse that we'll be able to see on the northern hemisphere in April. April 2024, that'll be the last eclipse. The best location to see that, John, will be in Arkansas. I'm trying to go over there. They're having a whole concert over there in Arkansas. I'm trying to get up on that stage. I would love to be performing at that event. So if not, I'm going to make my own event on the Arkansas mountain somewhere. And that's just what's going to happen. But that's something I'm trying to manifest for next April. The last set of eclipse that we have for this year is October 14th, which is, a Saturday? We actually have an October 13th this year, Friday the 13th. And for those of you guys who don't know the story of October 13th, the moon is in alignment with the goddess, with the feminine energy. The moon pattern is being in alignment with the woman's menstrual cycle, moon cycle, whatever you want to call it. So when we have Friday the 13th, Friday is the Venusian day. Venus dealing with, Oshan. That's the goddess energy. We know the story of Oshan, how, Nyambe, or whatever you want to name the Most High, created all these masculine gods, and none of them could be fruitful. And then we have Oshan, who used her rivers to assist in the fruitality. Is that a word? We're going to make it a word. And so, giver of all things. The thing with Oshan is, like, she moves in sadness because as she possesses people, she realizes nobody loves her as hard as she loves them the way she wants to be loved. Kind of resonate with that a little bit. So, people say, oh, you give me off the energy of Oshan. I always think about that tidbit of her. Like, yeah, that's how I feel. What else? So October 14th, we got the solar eclipse. Now, they're just now coming into, next year they're claiming it's going to be a total eclipse. But we know nothing here is a complete circle, whatever. Everything is like crazy shaped dust nuggets in the waters or whatever. But it's like an annular partial eclipse that's happening. I'm about to give y'all the timestamps. Hold on a second. I'm going to tell y'all when it's going to end and begin. So on the 14th, the moon crosses in front of the sun. The max eclipse is happening. It's an 87% max eclipse. That's why it's, annular or partial, whatever. And that's happening at 1:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at 32 seconds, if you want to catch the actual second. It's 1:59, 32 seconds. That's when we'll be at the full eclipse. It's an 87% eclipse. Over here in the Northern Hemisphere, according to Eastern Standard Time, from 11:03 a.m. to 4:55 p.m. is when the eclipse is happening. And from 8 a.m. to 3:13 p.m. is when it's visible over here where I'm at in Jersey. But this is, just on the northern, in this whole East Coast area or upper East Coast area, that's the time stamps when it'll be visible. Other things that we have going on, I don't have that. But on the 13th, the day before, because I think that's the only celestial event happening on the 14th that I know of off my notes at the moment. But on the 13th, that Friday, we have Mars entering the Scorpio zodiac. So we know that the zodiac deals with tropical chart. That's our thoughts, how we think things are to be. And so our motivation is moving toward those realms of transformation. Scorpio is the yang zodiac of the solar plexus chakra. So in this space, we experience power, aligning your willpower with the power of the collective, what creates transformations, enforcement of law, and fearlessness that has to come with that. So it's a level of like being stripped of some fears that you have going on in your space. And a lot of that is going to come from having Pluto in your Capricorn placement, providing transformation in your root chakra, with the masculine side of your root chakra at that. Which is the thing. So Mars being in Scorpio on the tropical chart will be in alignment with Psyche in your vertex. Well, actually, I think Psyche will be out of Scorpio by then. Psyche might be a Sagittarius by then. But let's just say maybe Psyche might go in retrograde or something. That's an asteroid, if you didn't know. But our mindset right now is on the space of transformations and rebirth and enforcement and just removing or stripping ourselves of fear. The vertex is our actual vibration of things. Knowledge, if you can hear me, Roxy is in the background. She's here now. But yeah, so we have that transition happening on the 13th around midnight. Some other solar events. Oh, if you're into meteor showers, I love meteor showers. We have another big one coming. I was so upset I did not get a chance to get the meteor shower that was happening up in August. That was the 100th hour for the summer. You know, meteor showers are here to bring the minerals from the cosmos down to our soils while we're planting the seeds and toiling the soil, doing whatever. It brings the minerals back into the soil. While we're in the season of harvest and stuff, because, you know, a lot of the minerals and vitamins got drained out from the heat of the sun and you know, the drought and stuff like that. So now we're dealing with the rain season, meteor shower season, as above, so is below, right? So some meteor showers to look out on. We got the Draconid from the Dracon constellation. That meteor shower begins October 9th. The Argid meteor shower from the Argid constellation begins October 11th. The Southern Taurus meteor shower from the Taurus constellation begins October 16th. The Orionid meteor shower from the Orion's belt begins October 22nd. The Geminids, that's the big meteor shower we got. That one begins November 19th until December 24th, till December 24th, up until Christmas Eve. The maximum date for the Geminids meteor shower is December 14th, and they move at 120 hours, so you really will be able to catch those. Yeah, those different things happening. Some other celestial transits that we could look out for the month of October. Venus enters Virgo zodiac October 10th around midnight. So, you know, really paying attention to what's going on in our heart chakra. Right now, we've just been experiencing our heart chakra. You know, your heart chakra is straddling between the left and the right eye, being in the Leo tropical. We know Leo deals with the sun, and the sun reflects, retracts. They put the light on everything and control how we see it, you know, how we see it. And, you know, Venus is vibration. Venus is also rules over the eyes. So this is really like us seeing our experience of our heart. However you're feeling is what you're going to experience. And it's also what you're going to experience, because on the Vedic side and the vibration side of things of Venus, Cancer is there, the home and family, nurturing, how you nurture yourself, how you nurture others, etc., etc. All that's happening on the Vedic side of Venus. So when we have Venus entering in the Virgo zodiac, most likely you'll be entering in the Leo constellation. It enters the Leo constellation first on October 2nd. So first we enter the Leo constellation, and then we enter the Virgo zodiac. Pieces, how you doing?
Peace, I'm good. How are you? I'm listening.
Oh, okay. So
Hey, Sunshine Monie with the affirmations to enjoy your day with Sunshine Monie. You are listening to Chakra Music. I came through with intentions of destruction. You said you wanted freedom, well it's me then that you wanted. I moved in gratitude as my soul was being summoned. The consciousness has returned, Christ is really coming. I make these flows for the souls that drift in indigo. I make some goals for they glow since they was embryos. Access the records, they lectures, keep your principles. Enemies infect you, don't let them reach your pinnacles. Reversing curses that's embedded in religions. They wound up in your soul, that's why you feel tension. I'm remixing declensions before Sumerians existed. It's something in the water, don't get caught, you'll get acidic. I bury enemies, pay pinnacles to the witness. You say my name in threes, I appear in your vision. Write Iliads in me, I'm the witcher in your system. Silly as can be, there's no opposite in infinite. I'm the goddess of crossroads, touching all directions. With the skull and crossbones that cause to the vexes. I applaud the protectors, I'm the god of inflection. They see the demon in me and still pause the respecters. I need no translation, vibrating from universe. My throat mansplaining while my yoni do the work. Mask off, crowns on, bombshell on all the arts. Mask off, crowns on, bombshell on all the arcs. Mask off, crowns on, bombshell on all the arcs. Mask off, crowns on, bombshell on all the arcs.
Enoch 7 prophet, move like the full winds do. My energy is useful, my thoughts are old school. So I move with a Bob Slim. Say I'm sexy, haircut like Anita Baker, real lovely. Caught up in the rapture, it's kinda risque. Kisses and faces on public is real frisky. Touche.
You are listening to chakra music.
Mask off.
And always a beautiful classic. So my sister was giving us all these planetary alignments. I was definitely in the background listening because I was saying there's some stuff going on. So I shall give you the floor and you can continue.
So it's just me. All right. Oh man, she paused. Had a pretty smile though. I love it here. I don't know if I'm paused too, but so when Venus enters the Virgo zodiac and then the Leo constellation, you have it in your thought process. You really analyzing the different experiences you just had in your heart chakra, and this will help you while we're still in the season of harvest. Because remember, the sun doesn't exit Virgo completely. The draconic sun is the last space for us on October 20th. So we're still in the space of harvesting. So in this space and time, pay attention to the different experiences your heart chakra is having. Shouts to the goddess Evie and Izzy. I was on there live on Instagram last night, and they do a hump day reading. They do love readings. I don't do love readings because it's not my specialty. I don't know what I care about, and for good reasons. It's the messy part of my life. I rather focus on business. That's the part of my heart chakra I rock with. The business, the wealth, the pinnacles. The love. I got universal love for everybody. I feel like that's all that matters. The romantic love, leave it where it's at. It's messy over here. Anyway, so I decided to sit in on that reading. I guess that was my alignment with what the Venus is doing right now or whatever. So being in that space with them and listening with them and how they were talking to people about their experiences through their heart chakra and just being at peace. And it's funny, I had this conversation with my brother too, because our birthdays are close by each other. He's entering his Saturn return soon. So it's just having a conversation about like, what do I do for bouts of love? And it's like, well, if you want it, you got to be what you want. Like, what do you want? Because if you're not being what you, like, if you aren't what you want, you're going to keep attracting people that's not what you want. So if you still moving funny, you still, being iffy, wishy-washy, one day you hot, one day you cold, one day you in a relationship, the next day you moving like you all by yourself, then that's exactly what you're going to attract. I have, been spending my Venus and Leo and Cancer really paying attention to that because I never had an issue with summoning men. That's not a flex. It's more so like facts. Like if I say, okay, I want this kind of guy, literally, like if not the same day, the very next day he'll pop up in some way or another. And so with that being said, I'm being more intentional about what I summon and the actual like emotional and mental state I'm in when I'm summoning this energy. But just coming back to that Instagram, that was a beautiful live that they did last night. It was a really dope reading. I got a really good reading. They told me about myself, and I got a bone to pick with my spirit guys, because y'all really be telling everybody my business, and don't be doing that. But yeah, pay attention to your heart experiences and the places that your heart is taking you, not just in romantic love, but universal love, you know, compassionate love. Being of service is a big thing under the Virgo sun energy. You know, you want to be helpful to other people. How can you help other people? How can you organize yourself? And as you start to organize yourself, it's a ripple effect. You're affecting other people and helping them with their self-organization and, you know, cleaning themselves up because they're watching you do it, or, you know, being in a space of you're a teacher, doing what you naturally do as a teacher, and the students, you know, being attracted to that energy is really dope as well. Yeah, that's all the Venusian space. So like once we come into Venus and Virgo Leo, it'll be my Venus return. Yay! So my Venus is in Virgo / Leo. So I'll be marking that calendar date. What is that? October 10th on it. October 10th. That's when I'm in full form. I might want a relationship. We don't know. But that's a space of time where you really get to sit back and pay attention to the experiences you've been having right now with this Leo Cancer energy. And also going back to the sun. So because the sun is in Virgo, that means the opposition is in Pisces. So Earth is in Pisces right now. So we got all Piscean energy at our midheaven. So being able to see Neptune and Saturn and the asteroid Karma right now, big on the forefront. Also on September 19th, Neptune was at opposition with the sun. So when things are in opposition, this is what's happening. The sun is like facing that energy. So the spotlight is on that energy. So for the starting September 19th up until, you know, keep going up until like the regular, what is that? October 18th, you got Neptune being in the spotlight. You got the Akashic records, the hidden agendas. Y'all been dreaming very well, even if it's not like going to bed at nighttime dreaming. Y'all may have been daydreaming, going into medium trance, you know, imagining, you know, all those things happening, you know, very easily for y'all. Familiar faces coming in abundance at this moment because you're reconnecting with different energies, you know, of your Olukun connections. Coming into spaces that are opening your Akashic records for you is a thing. Also, right now, what's on the forefront with the sun being on Neptune like this, or Neptune being in Pisces period, is walking us into the Libra scales, walking us into Libra season with Mayat on the spotlight, because, you know, Piscean energy is in relation to Mayat. We're dealing with the fourth sphere on the tree of life and the Kabbalah. This is universal love, justice, and truth. You know, Mayat walks around with the scales, you know, weighing your heart, is it light as a feather? So during this realm of, you know, analytics, moral and ethical code, and daily routine, wellness habits. Wellness is not just about your physical and what you eat and how you exercise. Wellness is about your mentality, your moral and integral code, how you treat others, and all that stuff like that. That's all in alignment with Virgo energy. So the Virgo energy is putting that spotlight on Neptune right now. Is people's hearts being as light as a feather. You're gonna see a lot of people make it to court. There's a lot of court cases going on right now. You know, the courts that we deal with in our physical realm is not about law, justice, and truth. It's about, can you play the chess game and win this case, whether you did it or not, which is unfortunate. However, you know, in the spiritual realm, we have righteous court systems there. And so while you might have been convicted as guilty, you might be going to jail, your experiences while you're in there are going to be in alignment with where your heart is in relation to the feather. Or you find yourself, you know, being free, you'll still see your experiences still aligning your heart to the lightness of a feather. We see a lot of people hidden agendas coming to the forefront. A lot of people been, you know, hiding how they really feel about certain people, places, things, and experiences. If you're one of those people where you bite your tongue to go on and get along, it's going to be more and more difficult for you to do so. It's going to be a lot of opportunities that are coming up that are going to push you into spaces where you have to have these hard conversations and move in truth. That's important. If you're not moving in truth, whether it's for a good cause, whatever that may be, it's still wrong because you're still not allowing certain things to be and certain things to happen to align the stars the way they need to be. You're pretty much like, you're like cholesterol. You're like, stopping up the flow of things right now because you're not moving in truth, and we need you to move in truth. So we're going to push you to do so. Saturn is here bringing challenges for those liars and delusionists and all that stuff like that. And then karma is here. Karma is bringing that full circle. Like I told y'all, our midheaven as Earth is in Pisces right now too. So, a lot of us are focused on truth and removing delusions and removing the smoke out of mirrors. Let me tell you what I think. So I've been force-fed these kids on my social media pages, and now I'm a little invested. I don't care. So I think that with this whole Krishan Blueface thing, I think all of it is fake. I think all of it.
All publicity, all ways to make money.
Everybody gets along. Everybody's cool. All that stuff that Blueface is going on with Jaden, that shit been happening a long time ago. They're just bringing it back up for the episodes. Like with them breaking up and him realizing she don't support his dreams and all that shit. I feel like all of that was already like solved and resolved between them years ago to where that now they can do it for the TV cameras and they're still cool when the cameras go off. I think all that shit is fake. I think the only person that's real is the mother. I think she's really fucking retarded. Or maybe my spirit just wants her to be. I don't know, but I think all that shit is fake. I think everybody over there loves each other. Everybody over there counting their money. They probably sit in the living room together like, all right, we about to make this video. You post this. Talk about how you want to shoot the fade. And then you tell me you hate me. And then you do this over it. Like they be eating dinner together, making this shit up.
Probably. That's why. That's how they eat. They eat off of the negative. They feed off. I mean, all of it's Hollywood, right? And we know what that means. We know what the Hollywood stands for.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's the wood that they use to make these things right here, these little magic wands and stuff, right? And so we know that that's just a part of the game. And even because you're going to either feed one or the other. Somebody's going to be agreeing with one side or the other. And it's just a divisiveness. And it keeps us in that low vibration of, because when I got caught up in it too. It got in my algorithms, in my YouTube algorithm somehow. It just got in there. That and that King Von, I don't even know who the hell he was. And now I went down this rabbit hole of who he was and what he used to do, and how we have a culture of young people though who really listen to music that is very disturbing to the spirit because they can relate. So they're trauma bonding through these negative images that are put out on TV, on the radio, and music, and everywhere. They're trauma bonding with them. And that's why you see so many teenagers and shit walking around with these hoodies. They need a hug and shit. That's the closest they can get to a hug is a fucking hoodie in the middle of the summertime. And you're right. This shit is being fed to them, and I think that everybody who is involved, their hands is bloody because you got people really investing mentally. But at the end of the day, we have to make a choice on what we watch and what we allow to, even with the algorithms, you can find yourself going down there and you have to stop yourself. No, I'm not about to, this is not what, I did not come here for this. I was actually looking for a lecture from Dr. Dilbert Blair, and somehow I ended over here in goddamn Krishan and Blueface world. Yeah, I feel you because I knew nothing about them. I don't know who the mother is. I didn't go down that far, but I have seen the baby and she was a Pisces and all of this and all this stuff going on with his baby mama Stewie. I mean, whatever her name is. Whatever. I got caught up in it too, and it was weird because it was forced into my algorithms because it's not stuff that I watch. So I'm wondering how the fuck this is even popping up. It was so funny a couple of years ago. When I first, because I'm new to Instagram for real. Everybody was on Instagram and I was not. So I had to get on Instagram because Enoch Seven Prophet had an interview with me and he was like, you have to have an Instagram page. And I'm like, well, I got my jewelry page. I just put jewelry up there. And he was like, nah. And that's what I turned that into this page right here, my Pronoia page, right? But before I realized when I was dating this guy, right? I just looked over because I'm not really into like I guess I'm old school. So I really wasn't even thinking about like how easy it is to cheat and do all this stuff with this new online shit, right? So I just looked over at his Instagram and all you see is like titties and ass and I said,
That's
that's your
weird.
algorithm now, because that's what you look at. Because when I go on Instagram, I thought everybody saw what I saw, which was I saw jewelry, crystals, witchy quotes and shit like, or women, strong women quotes and shit. That's what I see. But that's because that's what I was putting out there. So the algorithm was feeding me more of what I was putting out there. Now all of a sudden, it's not what I'm looking for, and it's still coming into my algorithm. It is really weird. And I'm just wondering, it's like forced negative information because planting the seed, you just got to plant it. You ain't even, it's there. Like once I see it, it's in there. So now I'm subconsciously worrying about this little Krishan girl, which I shouldn't be worrying. It's not my concern what happens to, like, everybody got their own life to live. Why am I
and shit?
even thinking about this shit?
She had a little Virgo baby. Like, oh man, give me.
Yeah, but see, it's just so weird because at the end of the day, like
now too.
all of the toxicity and shit, like all of them voluntarily are in it. Everybody's in it. Nobody should feel bad for nobody because at the end of the day, they all are choosing, if it's real or fake, they're choosing to be in it. Like,
Agreed.
and I know we all need guidance at some age, but we also have choices of what we choose to listen to, allow to guide us. So even if you feel in some kind of way, I don't know. I found myself getting caught up in that shit too. And then I said, oh no, thank God I went out for a while, away from the world and cut everything off because I disconnected from it. And I'm like, no, don't show back up. But I don't know how I got pushed through. But again, it's an illusion. I believe you that this shit is made up. But I think a lot of the shit we see is made up, because it's about pulling on our energies. That's it, making us feel something. And we always feel for somebody because if we can relate to a situation they in, we're going to feel for them. So it's always giving us a storyline so we can always be trapped up in somebody else's life. Like we are more caught up in other people's lives than we've ever been. We watch reality TV, we watch the news and shit, and the news ain't nothing but about celebrities and their lives. Everything is about like even our kids are watching shit on YouTube about other kids playing outside. Like shit is weird. Like you're not playing anymore. You're watching other people play. And it's really just about what you're not here to be an observer of life. You're supposed to be here experiencing it. And we're
supposed to be producers. We are over here being decomposers and consumers. Like, wait a minute, you fucking up the fucking cycle. What are you doing?
Right.
What are you doing out here? But yeah, I think all that shit is fake. I think all that stuff is fake. Because I've always been a big wrestling fan. And first thing on everybody know, wrestling fake. Okay, well, you do a backflip over some motherfucking strings. You land your stomach on top of somebody else's stomach, and then you get up and keep fighting for 15 more minutes, and you tell me that shit is fake. That's athleticism out of this motherfucking world. Somebody step on my finger, I quit. I'm not playing with y'all no more. I'm out of character, okay? You just stepped on my toe, bro.
I'm done.
You just sweated on me. And back then, when I was watching wrestling like heavily, niggas was bleeding on each other, bro. You bleed on me, I quit. Yeah. Bro. I'm out of character. I'm not tough no more. I'm sad.
But like these actors, this is all a part of how far you're gonna go for the money, right? It's all about the money. And it's about what you're willing to sell for the money. Like, again, I had a cousin.
I'm disappointed. You know why? Because when I was watching Before It's News and all them people, they told me that Project Bluebeam was going to be this dope shit. It's going to be aliens. It's going to be motherfucking starships. We're going to be at war. It's going to be robots everywhere. I was ready. Like, I'm mentally ready for some real outlandish shit to happen. And you give me Krishan and Blueface, that's what y'all doing with Project Bluebeam? Y'all give me Ice Spice? Y'all gonna make me believe that Ice Spice made a bunch of money by a post on TikTok? No, she been signed. And then she made the post on TikTok. Like, y'all sign people and then y'all have them do this organic marketing. So you make it seem like it was this post on Instagram that blew up. It was this thing on Facebook, but it wasn't. They were already signed. And now they have an SEO manager that's about to make sure everybody sees what the fuck they just did. It's not the other way around. And I'm just like, wait a minute. I thought Project Bluebeam was going to be bigger than this, baby. You just got us watching Zeus TV. It's some bullshit. I'm bored. I'm disappointed.
Well, it's funny that you say that because just like we sit here and we try to tell people how to, tap into themselves and learn about themselves. Another reason why we have to do that is because some of these people are handpicked. They're handpicked not just because of their strengths, because of their weakness and their willingness. They know already by your astrological chart who you are and what you're willing to do and not to do. And you have a character, right? We all have this character, this script we came in with. So you have a archetype that you already follow. You may have a darkness with you or a lightness with you, and they already know that. That's why you always see Johnny Depp cast in the same type of movies, or you see somebody being typecasted,
Johnny
right?
Depp is another one. My sister, sorry, I'm gonna cut you off.
No,
hold on a second. My sister was telling me. So y'all know about that whole court case thing with Johnny Depp or whatever? Come to find out, this nigga, it was like that movie. It was A Secret Window, when the whole time we thought it was the woman, but in reality, Johnny Depp was the killer the whole time. All this time, me and my sister got a big crush on Johnny Depp. For some reason, we got the same taste in men in fantasy.
Oh Lord, y'all like murderers and shit. Okay.
Yeah, actually, we do. So, and I'm like, damn, we over here feeling bad for him the whole fucking court case, like, oh, fuck her. Like, when we see her on the street, we're gonna beat her ass, like, whole thing. And then to come to find out, it was this dude. Like, oh, now we gotta beat his ass.
Listen, you remember, like, this is all, I mean, you got to think about it. All of these folks come in, like, you sit there and you read people's, their cartography and where they belong and where they've been and their astrology. If we got that, what they got from your birth certificate, what they got from your social, what they got from all these numbers around. They know your numbers. They know your weaknesses. They know your strengths. They know when you're supposed to die, how long you're supposed to live. They know all of these things. They have astrologers, numerologists. Oh, they have this shit on deck. You know what I'm saying? They have a whole... and they know who you are. So these people are, we call them superstars, but the thing about it is they are exploited. They are being used to bring, because why am I paying you millions of dollars if not for you to keep everybody else asleep? You are a part of the plan. And the reason I selected you, just like when you see basketball players and football players out there throwing a ball around and they're getting paid millions of dollars, you don't question why somebody would pay millions of dollars, because it keeps you entertained. It keeps you detained in this matrix, keeps you locked in and focused and invested in what's going on in their life. And then they just, back in the day, we was invested in the game, and now we invested in the players' lives and their kids and what they're doing with this and that. And we're just getting deeper into the rabbit hole, which is what they want, when we should be climbing our way up out and not give a fuck about what's going on with nobody else if your shit ain't in order, right? But we're not like that. We want to, when our shit not in order, we want to distract ourselves by other people's lives. We want to look and see what's going on their timelines. So if we're not even on the micro, on a bigger level, like with the stars and shit, we on the macro level with the Instagram, looking at other people's Instagram feeds or looking at little YouTube videos. Like, it doesn't matter. We're feeding ourselves other people's shit because we don't want to focus on our own shit, and they're keeping us fed off of that shit. Like, we're poisoned by other people's lives, and then when we talk to each other, we're having discussions about other. We're not talking about how we can better each other, how we can get to this bread, how we can get the fuck up off the grid, nothing. We was talking about that before COVID. Then COVID hit. Then everybody backed up. Then all this shit, this propaganda started coming out. And now everybody's just like, we don't want to talk about nothing that's serious. We just want to.
Because everybody's scared. Everybody's scared. That state of fear. But I hope that when we enter Scorpio energy, because Scorpio deals with fearlessness, that's the solar plexus energy. By the time we enter there, we'll be in a certain kind of space. But like you said, the powers that be, they have access to your long. Why do you think you gotta go to vital statistics to get your long birth certificate that has all this information? Why wasn't that given to your parents when you were born? Your parents should have gotten that instead of vital statistics having that, and your parents having this regular ass piece of paper and shit with regular shit on it. Because
most people don't even know the time they were born because they got that short joint. They be like, I don't know, it's not on there. Yeah, but they know everything about you. They know exactly what time you came into this earth. Why is that important to record? Why? Why is that even on your birth certificate? Why does it matter? We knew you was born on this day. Why is it specifically that time important? Because everything about you is important. That's the thing we don't understand. Everything about our existence is important. Not to be self-important, to understand that we're connected and we need to know about ourselves in order for us to really get out this bubble. We were born into this bubble of bullshit, and we been fed it from school, from the womb to the tomb, you know, like they do the cows. You know, like cows are supposed to just eat regular shit, but they feed them grain, and they know how long those cows are going to live, how much meat they're going to get. Like they can anticipate it because they already know that they're in a bubble. They only going to eat what you give them. So they're going to only live 80 years or 10 years tops. So we're going to feed them all this grain. They'll get them fat so we can kill them anyway. We don't plan on having them around that long. Versus what a cow's supposed to really be doing. When we come in this world, we ain't supposed to be having all these fucking people teaching us. We're supposed to be learning based on what we already know. Like, you know, if you put a baby down and they start crawling, nobody taught them to crawl. They are doing things that are going to they're trying to re-jog their memory on how to function. It's the minute that somebody starts to tell them things that their view starts to get narrow. You know, you got the biggest dreams when you little, but as soon as somebody say you can't do that, what you talking about? That's not what you, and your shit gets smaller and smaller, and that's what watching TV does. That's what certain music does. That's what talking to some dumbass people will do to you. Your view will shrink of what you think your possibilities are when they were endless when you were little, and nothing changed but your thought process.
I agree. When I was in the hospital, Miles was a day old. He was crawling on me looking for my boob.
That was his natural instinct. All by itself. You see these babies, if you just and that's the thing, if you let people live,
really dope shit.
And guess what? Most people don't need to be told, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt do this. Nobody needs no commandments. You know what's right and wrong. You know right from wrong. You know it's naturally in us to know what we should be doing here. When we get these instructions, man-made instructions,
you start raising your voice around the kids. Raise your voice around the child. The first thing they do is cry. They don't even like that energy. They don't like that frequency of adults yelling around them. It makes them scared. But when we train our kids up, you gotta learn how to fight. Someone hit you, you hit back. You gotta look out for these people and these people. You gotta be violent. You gotta be alert. Fight or flight. We teach ourselves and our children to be in fight or flight at all times. You're not supposed to be in fight or flight at all times. That's like taking an aspirin every day for that headache you might get later on. Like, no.
Yeah, man. And you put your body exhausted because your body is just always on edge, just want to do one thing or the other. It's like, what we doing? It's in survival mode all the time. Like, we are fight or flight. Somebody coming, but you know, that's because we born into trauma. We born into this bubble of whatever trauma our parents had was passed on to us, and we keep passing it on. And nobody is trying to bust the bubble because it seems weak. I tell people, talking about love is not weak. Talking about strengthening your families is not weak. Talking about creating life and continuing life on is not young. You're not on the wrong side of history. You are right now. If you are talking about those things, you are revolutionary, because ain't nobody talking about love no more. Ain't nobody talking about increasing the Black families. Ain't nobody talking about that shit no more. Everybody's about getting money, self. Women in turn to dudes. All the music I hear from women nowadays is what I used to hear from dudes back in the day. And that's what I be trying to explain to guys is, y'all don't even know how influential you are to your woman, to the point that you have created men out of your women. Don't tell me it ain't you, because they acting like you. Whenever you see a woman get with a man, she starts to pick up his mannerisms, right? So now you see all these females walking around, fuck this nigga, get this money, blah, 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 blah. Everything is get this money, and these niggas ain't shit, and that ain't my nigga. He can do all these things to me, but that's what dudes were saying back in the day. That's what they was feeding us. So you keep feeding this animal, you keep feeding this energy, and then you wondering why it's coming back at you. Nah, we need to quit all of that shit. All of it. It should have been deaded back then. But I'm surely not open and receptive to that type of energy being fed to the females, right? I mean, that we being fed and pushing out right now. We don't need you, and it's this money, and forget this, because we got a whole bunch of women now who don't want to have kids. They don't want to procreate. So what's gonna happen? Nobody wants to
It's
be
a
with
lot of
nobody no more.
trauma.
Everybody want to get to this money. Everybody.
I would love to have another child.
It's a lot of trauma.
Every pregnancy I've ever had was trauma. Like it was. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what is wrong with y'all? Y'all retarded?
Exactly.
Y'all quick to tell me how to wear my hair and nails, but y'all don't know how to treat a woman while she's pregnant. Do you know that when a woman is born, she's born with every egg she'll give life to, and not just the egg she'll give life to, but she has her great grandchildren inside of her womb at this moment.
Absolutely.
And we treat her like shit over there in fucking Asia. They quick to, as soon as the baby is born, everybody's energy. Oh, you think she can feel that shit because she an infant? She felt how sad y'all are about her presence. She felt that shit in the room when you found out you was having a baby on the way.
Yeah.
So guess what? All that energy is on the generations inside of her. You see, you got this little girl growing up. She don't got no good people around her. She got her mother beating her down with her words because her mother's dealing with her own traumas, and maybe she looked like her daddy or something. Maybe she's a reminder of the shit that her mother went through or whatever. So you got that shit. Then where is dad? We don't fucking know. And if dad is around, dad is being weird because dad don't know what the fuck to do because he ain't got no fucking dad. Then you go online on the internet where seems to be was raising our kids, and you see all this gender war shit all day long. They're absorbing that because they don't have the intellectual capacity to say these are just people talking on a fucking podcast. And when they go into real life, either they're moving out of their traumas, their personal experience traumas, and they're projecting on the microphone, or whatever, what have you. But this does not reflect the mindset of 7 billion people on Earth.
Right.
Our children don't have the capacity to think like that. Adults don't even have the capacity to
because they in a box. All they see is whatever comes through that algorithm, and they start going down that hole, and then they start believing it because ain't nobody telling them nothing different. Again, think about how expensive. Someone was sending me a message where there was like a bunch of, and it was a bunch of white ladies. It was a bunch of white women, but I don't care what race they were. It was just a bunch of, but just to clarify, it was a bunch of white women talking about how they making like $85,000, and that's just not even enough for a family of 4 right now. Like everybody's focus is, I gotta get this, I gotta keep taking care of my family. Not thinking, again, mothers, I'm guilty of it too. I gotta get this bread. I leave the house every day. What are my kids watching when I'm not home? What are they taking in? What are they being fed? Because no matter what, I don't care how great of a mother you are still just a mother. And a lot of times your kids, they see you as, oh, you're my mom. Of course you're going to say that. Of course, I'm still going to experiment. So what are they being fed? And what are we allowing them to take in? Because there ain't no filters nowadays. Even when you filter shit, it ain't no filters. Because now kids shows got shit in it shouldn't have in it. So even if you say, okay, you can only watch YouTube kid shows is now filled with LGBTQ and all kinds of things that are giving them thoughts of things that they ain't even thinking about at that age. Again, I have nothing against whatever gender love you want to be in, but my children I didn't even let my daughter watch things about relationships when she was younger, about boy and girl, because that's not your, why are we watching these shows? What are we doing?
Yeah.
I want you to be focused on other things. So I'm going to feed you different shit. But
and then we got into the acknowledgement that Disney had, introduced us to concepts of love and romantic affection towards, other energies at a very young age, and so they created this whimsical ideal of how love and relationships conspire. So a lot of that, like, we don't date. We just say, I like you, you like me. We go together now, and now we're feeding each other's expectations. And then the moment not enough expectations get fulfilled, I don't love you anymore. How did we get here? And some people see that after a marriage and children and all these intertwined energy, and it's because we don't date. This goddess has said some dope shit. She was like, men cheat a lot because men don't date their type. Y'all men. Why didn't you go out and just be like, oh, you look good, your booty's big, or I like the stuff that you say sometimes and stuff like I tell me being where I'm at, like doing what I do, yeah, I attract a lot of sapiosexuals. But like I said, when this podcast first started, I only focus on business. I focus on business and my kids. Why? Because that whole love and romance shit is messy. I don't do well in that area. So, you know, it's like you can see me up here and see what I do and what I know and stuff like that. That doesn't mean you're gonna have a really dope romantic experience with me. You know what I mean? It's two different like boxes that we talking about. And so like you'll have men, they'll see somebody, they'll be, visually, intrigued or whatever. So their mind says like, oh, I want you, I want to do all the romantic things with you, whatever. And then come to find out this is not the person that you want. This is not this person does not fit your needs. Y'all don't share the same sense of humor. Y'all don't have the same moral ethical code. Y'all know I get into synastry charts with it. When you get into synastry charts with it, you got to know that you don't just have a natal chart. You have a progressive chart. That means that just how the galaxy and the stars and the constellations are always moving, so are you and your personal galaxies. And so who you were yesterday is not who you are today. Literally,
Right.
Galaxy speaking, terrestrially speaking, you are not the same person you was yesterday. You had different experiences. Your energy had different experiences. Your celestial alignment is undergoing different experiences. So there will be periods of time in your relationship with that person where you're going to see, like, bro, our planets aren't aligned no more in those Venusian placements anymore. And how long will they not be aligned? Some relationships need to go on breaks, and you have to trust each other to take that break. And I'll see you at the other end of it, or maybe we need to remove certain elements from our relationship for a little bit and then come back to these elements later. Like, you have to be mature. You got to have trust. You got to have faith. You got to have all these different elements in the relationship to be able to do things like that. People don't be putting that in consideration. Everybody just want, like, we live together, we go 50-50 on bills, which is fucking wild. And you do all these things and I do all these things. And the moment you don't do these things and I don't do these things, it's like love is conditional. Love is so conditional. I only like you when you're behaving to how I want you to behave. But the moment you step out of my desired behavior, I don't want you around me no more. Me personally, my love is unconditional. I do pop-ups on everybody I've ever spoken to. The ones that allow me to anyway. And people think that's so weird. Like, I be seeing those memes about Virgos. Like, why do they? Because I give a fuck. I love you. My love is unconditional, but my romantic affection is not. And that's something that I verbally let be known in the beginning. So if you don't like pop-ups, don't talk to me at all. Because I'm not for it.
Yes.
But yeah, I think we have to learn how to date. We have to learn how to be honest with ourselves and be honest with the other person without thinking that we're a bad guy for saying no, especially as women. A lot of us women date in fear. We date in fear with a lot of things. We date in fear with our age because we know at a certain period of time we can't have no more kids. And ageism is heavy, especially with the rap songs and the TV and the movies and stuff that have been made to beat down the woman that's over 25 years old, which is wild. Because to sit there and think that your saggy balls are so much better is wild to me. Don't do it. Your libido is trash. You don't want to go there with Sunshine because I'll hurt your feelings, bro. To beat down a woman that's over 25 is wild and crazy, kid. Don't do that with Sunshine in my space because I'll break your heart. I swear to God I will. That shit is such a trigger for me. But one. And then you get to the fact that men are bigger than us. Like, you guys are literally your feminine energy in a bigger masculine body, because we realize that just having feminine energy inside of a woman body was not effective enough to get certain shit done. We needed bigger bodies. We needed masculine bodies. We needed the masculine energy associated with the feminine energy in another different human body form. So we have fear. We scared of y'all. Some of us, like where we live at, I'm not too comfortable with not giving you my number because I don't know what the fuck you gonna do. I don't know what you got in your pocket. I don't know why you're so close to my personal space in this season of COVID. Like, what the fuck is on your mind? You brave as shit, bro. Like, I'm scared. Like, when we go out on dates, like for me, it's my mother and my sister. If I'm going out with somebody I don't know, I'm giving you the license plate number, the phone number. This is what you look like. And that's out of fear. That's out of fear. It's to the point now where we laugh about it, we make jokes, but but we all still move. It's still a fear in the back of our head. We just learned through comedians and clowns and shit to laugh at serious shit.
Right.
But it's serious. I shouldn't have to be so scared of you, bro. And in a world where men created all the masculine shit, why wouldn't you feel comfortable navigating us through the shit that you created? Like, you go anywhere in the masculine, and I talked about this last night in the reading too. You go anywhere in the masculine realm, whether I want to like get my car fixed or buy a car, or I'm engaging in this entertainment space or that entertainment space. I gotta be afraid of the men in my space or be alert around the men in my space and be alert with the man that I'm with. Like, where is the safety here? What are we doing? So these are all the elements that a woman has to be aware of when she's in the dating realm. This would be cool to have a man to talk about, because I don't know what y'all be alert with. I know about like the whole mother children thing, because I had a couple cousins who was really walking around living life thinking a child was theirs up until like the 3rd or 4th birthday. Come to find out that child not theirs. And the way they found out was in such a slimy, sleazebally way. Like the woman being petty because the actual dad came into the picture, or they don't want to deal with you no more, or whatever. Now it's not your baby. Like, that shit is hurtful for men. Don't do that. That's weird. You know, I know different like plays on men's emotions, men not being, you know, able to be vulnerable, because I do know I have seen some women play on that, especially in this realm of social media. Women will invoke a man into his feminine energy, where a man feels comfortable to cuddle or be goofy or cry or tell a secret, and the whole time she got the motherfucking phone in his face. Like, what? Don't do that. We're trying to heal these men and show them all that crying is for girls bullshit and shit is bullshit. You don't got to be scared to be vulnerable here. And you putting them right back into that space. Right. So these are like the different elements that we, you know, are dealing with in the dating realm. We got to learn how to sort through, because a lot of them are appearing a lot, you know, louder and more common. I don't know. This is why I don't deal with it.
Probably why it's, I mean, again, we ain't seeing healthy relationships. We're not growing up. We ain't growing up in these environments that we need to see to understand what a healthy relationship is supposed to be like. It's been, and a lot of people don't have a lot of patience in actually putting in the work. Again, like you said, it's a choice. To me, love is a choice every day. It's not just a feeling. You can feel love for somebody, but if you don't make the choice every day to be there regardless, you know, like I love that picture of that old man holding the umbrella over the old woman, but he pissed at her, but he's still holding the umbrella over her, because that's the kind of love I'm talking about. Like, that's that real shit. Like, I'm mad at you right now, but I know that I love you. I'm not going nowhere. Like, you know, like, people don't do that nowadays. It's like, it's so easy to, and I think we learned this again from breaking up when we younger, like, oh, okay, just move on to something else. And we always talk to just move on to something else, something better, versus work on what you have, because it may not be nothing wrong with it. You might need to adjust. They might need to adjust, but ain't nothing wrong with adjustments. You know, people think people are changing them, but sometimes if you take a step back, the person may be helping you adjust to be just a better person. What you're doing may not be good. Like, you might need to change. And we always think, like, don't let nobody change you. If something happens, you just leave. No, you don't. There's a level of it. You know, there's times when you do just leave. When somebody put their motherfucking hands on you, yes, leave. But if you are married to someone and y'all made that commitment to each other, and today you're not feeling them, you just gonna walk out because you got other options. Well, guess what? Everybody comes with their baggage. Everybody gonna come with their shit. It's just what shit you choose to deal with. You know, like, I'm gonna deal with your shit because I've been dealing with you and I know you and I know your shit. I'm familiar with your shit. And actually, I'm getting used to knowing how to deal with your shit. Or I'm gonna go out here and just randomly spin the wheel of shit to deal with and figure out what's gonna be next. Oh, okay. Oh shit, he got STDs. Whoa, well, let me keep going. Oh, wait, he got 7 baby mamas. I don't want to deal with that. I mean, I think a lot of people, and I like when you talked about ageism, because again, it is true. And I don't know where that shit comes from, because I promise you, I'm more secure, more sexually driven than I ever was in my 20s, now that I'm however old I am. And at the end of the day, like, honestly, I do see it, you know, like, I ain't gonna lie, like, I am not one who was excited about getting gray hair. because of the fact that gray hair on a woman is not looked at the same way that gray hair is on a man. You know,
Right.
gray hair on a man is considered like, oh, he is sexy and he's getting old, he's a, dapper and all of this shit. I get gray hair and she's a crone, she's an old, and it's like we can't age gracefully and be proud of ourselves growing in our age. We always thinking about, and it's not just that too, it's our age and it's single mothers. I hate the stigma around single mothers right now.
Right.
It is so sickening to me. It's sickening that they feel the need to, first of all, open their mouths to say anything. If you don't, I learned a long time ago, if you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. And every time, if you put in single mothers, you will see nothing but downing and trash and garbage and don't date single mothers and this single woman, this, and you should have your own kids. Listen to me. If you
What
was
happened to
meant
the
to have your
village,
own,
though?
it's always about a village. But the mentality of I'm going to not only feel the way I feel, but I feel bold enough to come on a platform and talk shit about you. But I was raised by one of you. Most of them who talking shit was raised by a single mother, and they never asked the question why their motherfucking mother is a single mother. You act like women out here making choices to be single mothers. Women walking around like, yeah, baby, I'm trying to get this baby real quick, and then this nigga could go. No, that's usually not the case. Me per se, I was married and everything, and I thought I was doing everything right. Well, I'm supposed to stay around and stay married when a man is beating my ass, or do I leave? And now I got this stigma of single mother, and I don't want that. So it's like you between a rock and a hard place. I'd rather be in that hard place, because honestly, that stigma, it bothers the shit out of me every time I hear it. Because even if I only had one child, I have three. Okay, I have three beautiful daughters, and guess what?
Yes,
I'm proud that I can raise them the way I want to raise them. Yes, it would be beautiful to have a man in the house to help and support, but at the end of the day, like, your circumstances is whatever it is. But to be stigmatized and to be sought as like something less than because you had a child. Okay, so if I am less than because I had a child and she doesn't have any kids, but how many abortions has she had? Is she less than? If we looking at, I'm just saying, it's a lot of different ways you can look at it. Because women will get rid of their kids because a man will think like that, right? Like, oh, I don't want to be a single mother, so you don't get rid. I'm not gonna get rid of my kids. Whatever your stigma around single mother, that's your thought process. But you'll miss out on a lot of people with these stupid ass. People will miss out on great opportunities to be really impacted, not just your life, but maybe your child's life, maybe someone else's life, because you got this stigma of, oh, well, that ain't my kid. Okay. And what does that have to do with being a good influence on somebody or being around and being able to, because a lot of these people gonna die old and by themselves. They talk all this shit, and then when they die, they're gonna be by themselves. They're gonna wish they had somebody kids to come up to the old folks home and visit their asses. But at the end of the day,
mom, people treat kids in the whole process of dating. Like, you cool with my kids as long as you cool with me. But you don't put in consideration that if anything happened between me and you, now you treating my child funny. Like, now you're not being present for my child the way you were. Now my child looking for you and looking for that connection. Like, my sons have two different dads. And so, like, wow, my oldest son probably not internalizing that shit the way I am. I'm internalizing that shit, and I feel some type of way. You was around my child for 10 years, and now you being weird to him. And I think that's fucked up. And I got a lot of words to say, but I'm not going to say them right now. And so
I think that has people don't know how to separate the relationships either, though. Like, even with me, me and my husband are separated. He was abusive, but he still has two children. And if you don't have a relationship with them, that shit is weird to me, because you're not making no effort. That had nothing to do. Like, I don't fuck with you. I don't like you on no level whatsoever. That's cool. But you did create these two human beings who do not know you. And it ain't my fault. It ain't my fault they don't know you. It's your fault because you make no effort. And that has always been my issue with the stereotype around single mothers, is that the woman is like in the way. There's never a way that you could be in the way of somebody of being in your child's life. It's no way. There are court systems that are actually, people are afraid to go to court, but that shit.
Court system. They love to use a court system because the white man has his foot on their neck, and the court system is for women and child support. I'm so
not at all
tired of that narrative, because I have
I know dudes who have went to court. Yes, that is false. I've seen dudes go to court, not let her take him to court, go to court and say, look, I want to see my kids. This is how often, this is what I'm willing to do. They can come stay with me. And guess what? If you're not fit as a mother, if you're not doing what needs to be done, that man will get control. Don't tell me that you are just that afraid. I don't want to go to court either. Either step up or step up in another way, but there's no reason you're not there. Like, I feel like that's just a weak cop out, and that's a cop out that a lot of people use, because I see people, even when they can't get along, they will make a way that they see their children. You may never care for me, and I may never care for you, but them babies, they deserve both parents. Yeah, absolutely. And so that, like, I don't know. I think that that's a big thing in our community about being able to really, really revisit that village mentality. Because not even that, like, even with my girlfriends back in the day, we used to, you girl, all right, this weekend, she got all the kids. She got my kids. She got this girl kids. We all got all each other kids this weekend. Next weekend, my kids going to y'all. So for the next 3 weekends, I may not even have my kids. But then the weekend it comes around.
When I had kids, all my friends stopped fucking with me.
That's crazy. That is crazy to me. I feel like that's when you need the most support from your friends. It's when you got kids. It's because you need that relief. You need that adult time. You need, you know what I'm saying? And everybody needs, all my friends have kids, right? So we all know how it feels, you know? So sometimes my girlfriend would be like, drop the girls off over here for the weekend. Next time you drop your kids off over here, y'all go out for the weekend. Like, that's a village mentality as well. We have to be making sure that mentally we are all insane. All sane. And you can't be around kids 24/7 and not have no adult time and think your relationship's gonna work, friendships are gonna last. Like, we gotta make time for ourselves as well. We put so much into our children, but we don't think about that. And you gotta have good friends. Like, you ain't gonna never lose me as a friend because you got kids. You might lose me as a friend if you're not taking care of your kids, or you don't never want to do nothing with the kids. Because I don't want to be with
kids if you're not taking care of your kids. I'll take your kids. They'll be over here with me until you get your shit together.
There you see, and that's the kind of friend.
Nobody's system. I got you.
That's the real friend shit. You know what I'm saying? And there's not a lot of people like that. That's why I tell my kids, don't call everybody your friend. Friends. That's a real title. Like, my friends will be like that. Like, ma'am, I don't know what's going on with you, but bring them kids over here. So you clearly need some motherfucking time.
You need some space, because
you need some space. And I'm not questioning shit. Bring them over here.
Beating her kids. I don't look down upon physical punishment. I do, but I don't go into people's spaces judging them. Like, you do your thing, whatever. I don't hit my kids. Communicating with my kids works enough. And so, I don't know, I was just at her house and she just kept hitting them. Like, every little thing they did, they got hit. It was just constant smacking, yelling, and crying. I was like, I know me and you supposed to go out, but I'm about to just take the kids back to my crib or whatever. We're going to watch a movie and shit like that. I'll get up with you later. And she had attitude, but she let me take the fucking kids, though. Like, bro, that shit is weird. Like, this is what they live in 24/7. You're just popping them for everything. They can't make noise. They can't giggle. They can't play with the toys. They can't turn the TV up. They can't go in the kitchen, but they can't ask you for nothing to eat. Like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, come on now.
So I have a question about this person that you speak of. Is she single?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to make.
She always has some kids. I know what it is.
Yeah. And you know what it is. You know what it is. And I won't go there. I know you know what it is, but like, maybe somebody listening don't know what it is. But there's a lot of stress there. There's a lot of anxiety there that is never taken off of her, that is never go away, that she never gets away from, because it was her. Like, I homeschool my kids, right? My youngest, my middle child is just now went back to public school because she begged me, right? But I mentally needed that break. I didn't know how much I needed it until she left to go to school 4 days ago. And I was like, shit, I will still continue to give you real information at home, but I need that break. There is an amount of energy that the man brings to the table that relieves that woman, that allows her to be that woman. And when he is not there, she is both the woman and the man. And it is a dynamic in which is clouded. Sometimes she's so stressed out. That's what all you're seeing is her stress. And those kids, everything they do is irritating to her. Why? Because when you ain't had a break, it's like, look, I just used this analogy with someone. It's kind of like if you see somebody and they just they like, you're like, what's wrong with, damn, why you so damn thirsty? It's because they dehydrated. They ain't had a break. They just like, and so when you give them water, when you give them a break, they beyond needed. You know, that one little break ain't gonna be enough for them because it's been so much. And people don't think about that. But like raising children on your own is a lot. And if you don't get no break, if you don't got no partner to bounce it off of, my whole thing was to get married, have children. So I had a partner to bounce this shit off of. You know, maybe I'm overreacting. Baby, am I overreacting? No, you ain't over. Okay, good. But now I don't have nobody to tell me that. So I got to go off my own judgment only. Right. So it's me versus them. It's me versus them. It's not a partnership. It's not a balance. It's an imbalance. And that is a problem. That is where the problem lies. It's not the single motherdom. It's the lack of support that she has. It's the lack of support in the community. It's the lack of support in the masculine energy. If she ain't got no brothers around and she's raising a son, and then y'all worrying about like, if she ain't got no masculine energy around to give, and then you're saying that it's her fault. I don't understand how that's her fault. If you're a man sitting there looking at her and saying,
it be because, and this the village that I be talking about. Why you gotta be sleeping with a woman to be present for her children? You ain't gotta be dating me. You don't gotta be romantically involved with me. Like, why do we have to have that kind of bond for you to care about what my kids are doing, how my kids are, and being present with them? I think that's so disrespectful. It's so disrespectful. And it's such a, I think it's very ugly. I think it's a very disgusting, ugly mindset to have. You know, kicking a baby mother down. I don't even like the word baby mother, but kicking a single mother down and saying she ain't this, she ain't that, she ain't this, she ain't that. That's why she don't have a man, she don't have a man, she don't want to have a man or whatever. And then turn around and say, well, I'm not going to be the man to help these children. But then in the same breath, you want to talk about how the children are the future and we having star seeds and, you know, it's my responsibility and da-da-da-da. You can say all these things, then turn around and not stand on your post and do what the fuck you supposed to do because you're not sleeping with her, because she's not showing no romantic interest in you, because you don't like the way she living. Okay, start an after school program for these kids because they come home to empty houses because the mom got to work 2 jobs and she's doing everything by her fucking self. Like, start a perform program for these kids before they even start the day in school and give them a something to look forward to before they have to pledge allegiance to a motherfucking oppressing flag. Like, come on, now stop playing with me. Like, you know, and it's not just men, women can stand up for one another too. Like, I know we be in that mindset where like, oh, you can't say nothing to my kids. You can't say, we got to get out of that mindset, bro. Because when I used to live in the projects, everybody could say something to me and then go back to my mother and tell my mother to say something to me. So now I'm getting 2 ass whoopings. Like, bro,
I will still check my friends' kids any day. Like especially if you talking wild, sorry. Hold on. Who are you talking to? I know you're talking to her. No, you're not. You're not doing that.
Don't do that around me. Don't do that
at all. But that mentality has started to slowly vanish to the point where it's just not there, and that support needs to be there. And I'm going to say this loud and clear: like these babies nowadays, you can see the lack thereof, and there's a lot of like I said, I want to call them hoodie kids. They just need hugs, and the reason it's like that is just not just because there's a lot of single parents who it's just put on them and that's it. Nobody else is there. So if mommy ain't there, where's the auntie? Where's the cousins? Where's the outside support?
Because they all in the club thinking it's funny you the one with the kids. They don't want to support no more. I don't watch this whole post about somebody saying, oh, y'all need to stop asking the grandmother to raise y'all kids. Time out. Because my generation, we grew up at our grandmother's house. So for our parent generation to sit there and act like, oh, I'm not the grandparent, I'm gonna live my life. You've been living your life your whole fucking life. That's why we was always at our grandparents' house. Don't play that motherfucking game with me. Like, come on now. You want to sit up here and like you raised your kids. You did not raise your kids by yourself. Y'all generation did not raise y'all kids by yourself. Y'all had y'all siblings, y'all had y'all parents, y'all had the church, y'all had all these people around y'all, and now y'all got our generation having these kids and y'all leaving us by ourselves. And I'm gonna go get my nails done and my hair done. I don't bake cookies. Like, fuck you then. Like, where is the village, bro? Where are we at? You don't even have siblings stepping up to the plate no more. Nobody wants to be an auntie or uncle. It's leaving you to fend for yourself. I have to go call strangers, or I have to bribe other kids with money to do shit for my children. I'm gonna pay you. You gotta start every sentence off with, I'm gonna pay you. Can you da-da-da-da-da? Where is the village, bro? Don't complain about the product if you're not being a part of the motherfucking solution. And I see that's what a lot of people do. They want to complain, but what are you doing for these kids? Are you a teacher?
What are you doing?
Do you have a program for these kids? Do you go outside and do you watch these kids and stuff like that? Even though my nana wasn't like an official babysitter, she used to sit on her porch all day long. Everybody know my nana. Everybody know Miss Joanne. Everybody know Miss Joanne is on the motherfucking porch. She's a part of the City Watch. She did the drill team for the girls out there. All the drug dealers and the shooters and everybody know my nana. Everybody know Miss Joanne. And if I tell you, oh, I'm a Patterson. Oh, you such and such people. Yes, I am. That's how it's supposed to be. That's what raised me. And that's why I move the way I move. But when I come into the world and I see that there is a lot of people that was not raised by the Miss Joannes, it's very disheartening because you can see it in how they treat each other. Everybody has an excuse not to do shit for each other. Everybody has an excuse to turn their back on these kids. I go out to certain areas where it's supposed to be highly conscious community bullshit or whatever. It's just smoke holes. Y'all just sit here and smoke weed all day. You're not doing shit for the community. You're not doing shit for these kids. You're not doing shit for these parents or whatever. Y'all literally sit here, come here every Friday, every Thursday, half-ass rap y'all songs on top of lyrics. Y'all performances fucking suck. And y'all get high and drunk and then go home and half-ass pay attention to your kids. This is not conscious. This is not a community. This is bullshit. This is a club. This is a nightclub where you can smoke inside. That's what this is. And that's what we have a lot going on in the physical world. In the virtual world, we just got a bunch of people with podcasts that just want to chat. At the end of the day, nothing is being done for these kids. Your kids are still going to places where they feel oppressed and suppressed. Some kids do like to be in public school because they have mothers like you that'll give them extra work. Like when my kids were going to school, all right, you got that homework, but you also got work for me because I'm going to tell you the motherfucking truth and I'm going to tell you why they telling you shit, how they telling you or whatever, and what they benefit from telling you that way. But I noticed with my kids, it was overwhelming for them. They couldn't handle both worlds. So I had to make that shift for them. But there are some kids who can do that. And that's dope. Right. But both ways, we still have to be present for these children. Like, we gotta come together. Like, it's no question about it. These are the people that are going to take care of us when we get to a certain age and we can't do it for ourselves no more. We're going to be too tired. We're going to be too physically drained, too mentally drained, all these different things. And guess who we passing the torch to? Motherfuckers we didn't raise. Motherfuckers that we sit up here and we make songs. I ain't got no kids. Fuck these kids. We can't wait to break down a single mother, a single father, and their children, bro. Like we mentally are starting to objectify children to a point of disdain and disgust. Right. When people see me by myself with my children versus when people used to see me next to a man with my children, the energy I would receive is so fucking different, bro. Oh, and it's like, why is that? Why are y'all like that? Why is that what y'all showing my kids? You know what I'm saying? Right. So y'all literally showing my kids I'm only respectable when there's a man next to me. I have sons. Don't teach my kids that bullshit because they're going to be somebody's father. They're going to be somebody's husband. It's just like, no, whatever. And then I have a bonus daughter. You know, the person that I was with, he had a daughter. I had a son with previous relationships, and then we had our son together. So his daughter, I'm still, I still stay in communication with her because I've been around her since she was in motherfucking diapers. That's my baby too. So I'm talking to her. Sis deals with a lot between her mother always putting her down because she's a very dark-skinned girl and her mother is light-skinned. So I always had to deal with that. I had to buy her different books. My skin is beautiful. My hair is beautiful, whatever, because she go around her mother and her mother like, ew, I don't like your hair. Ew, I don't like this. I don't like that. And then where the fuck is her dad at? Somewhere being a womanizer. And then you got this girl and it's just like, bro, like keeping 100 with you. A lot of the times I stayed with that man was for that little girl. I ain't gonna hold you because I felt the duty to stay in that girl life. I ain't gonna hold you, but like, I'm sitting here talking to her now, being present. She's in high school and she's written to me about the podcast that she be watching. Like all these boys be saying all this stuff, and then I go to school and the boys are watching y'all fucking podcast. Y'all, like, are you retarded? Are you retarded? These teenage boys are watching what y'all saying about women, and y'all coming from a hurt, projected place. So when my daughter goes to school, she has to deal with these fucking knuckleheads that don't know no better, that are regurgitating the bullshit y'all say on y'all podcast about women.
Right.
And my daughter is a dark-skinned, chunky girl with 4C hair. And there's nothing ugly about that. She's a beautiful little girl. But let y'all fucking tell her on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Like, y'all is disgusting. Y'all some disgusting fucking people, bro. That is so disgusting to me. I hate it here. I hate it here.
Me too. I feel you.
I'm not walking no more in that Superman complex because I can't. I don't have capacity for it, and I never did. It used to drive me nuts. I can't save the world. I can't even fucking protect my kids. It has to be a community effort. And people have to realize that if we want to protect our children, it has to be a community effort. All this, everybody always want to use the same celebrities to prove their point. Everybody love to say Nicki Minaj, Cardi B, and Megan Thee Stallion. Every now and then you might hear them remember Ice Spice and them exist. Okay, you talking about women that are married, that be in relationships, that rap about being with men? I'm with my man love me, my man buy me a Birkin bag. I can get your man to buy me a Birkin bag. I'm sleeping with this man, I'm loving this man, She's literally talking about being with men. Being with men. What do y'all be talking about? Fuck bitches. I don't like bitches. I want to hang out with my niggas all day. Video full of niggas. And the women, you only get to see their asses. You don't get to see their faces. Just me and my niggas playing video games. Come on now. Stop playing with me, bro. Stop playing. Because even when we try to be hard, we can't. We still evolve around you motherfuckers. We still talking about how we want you. The first song will be about how we took a nigga. The next song will be a sad song because somebody took our nigga. Then the next song will be about how we don't need a nigga. And then the song after that is about how I'm catering to my nigga. And like, bro, we can't stop talking about y'all.
Because we can't get out our own energy. That's our energy. Our natural energy is to be, you know what, we got this facade we trying to carry, but that's not our natural energy. When you see these women with that's hurt, that's trauma, I fight against that energy every day, because there is an energy that be wanting to be like, fuck these niggas too, and then there's an energy within me that say, stay true to yourself. You believe in love, you believe in these things. These are things that are coming to you. You will not submit to this standard of thinking that is not even true to the person that's saying it. Because just like you said, one song will be fuck these niggas, next one is I can't believe she took my nigga. All those different emotions, because you're not being true to who you really are. You really want him. You don't really want to feel that way. You're just saying it because he said it about you. You're just hurt. You're just traumatized. Sis, be you. Don't let these people change who you are. And that's why I still listen to Anita Baker and songs that make you think about love. I be telling my kids when I listen to old school, I'm like, oh, that's back when men like girls. Like when women and men got along, like when love was love. Like it is, I mean, nowadays it's like fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I'm not with that. I'm with I love you. Yeah, I'm with that shit. I'm with that. Let's build. How can we build? I don't give a shit if you got a kid. I don't care if you got 10 kids. Are you taking care of them? All right, cool. Can I meet them? Okay, because you don't hide no kids from me either. I ain't about that life. Like, if we're gonna do this, let's do this. I don't know. That's weird to me to start looking at people and being like, I can't be with you because you not tall enough. You got kids. You this, you that. Man, you just eliminated like half of the population. Now you down to this, and now you hoping that this fits everything else that you. Boy, stop. Have several seats. Y'all don't know because you ain't got there yet. But all these particulars that we keep making is really just fucking us up. It's fucking us up for real love. It's fucking us up for what we're here for building. Like I've seen people who really invest in their relation. I've seen people I went to high school with, and I love to see this shit. They are still fucking together. They've been together for like, well, I ain't gonna give y'all all of that. They've been together for a long time. I mean, and they got kids, and it's so crazy because now we live in the stage where you see people like, damn, all your kids look alike. That's because they all got the same mom and daddy, because they stayed together. And I'm not gonna say that they didn't go through shit, but they actually had true love enough to say, yes, we're going through the shit, but we're going through it together. Now, again, it's no abuse. I'm not talking about abuse. I'm talking about growing together. I'm talking about my likes and my needs changing, your likes and needs changing, but us staying in the same common ground of I love you, you love me. So we can grow. I can be me, you could be you, but we can still come back together, you know?
Right.
And I love that. We have to push that to our children. Like, I know that you probably pushing that to your sons. I'm pushing it to my daughters. I want my kids to always believe that there is going to be somebody who has the same kind of heart as you. You ain't got to go out there looking for all that other bullshit. Because that shit ain't going to, when you narrow it down and you finally get that person that fits all those physical, those unnecessary, that person, I promise you, will not meet your spiritual need. They will not. Because you it don't usually work that way.
Yeah, it don't. You get that person, you look exactly how you want them to look. You got the money, and then you have a spiritual conversation with this energy, and you just be so disappointed.
Hurt.
Their mindset be so stuck on fitting those unnecessary boxes. They don't have time to be spiritually inclined, bro. They too busy working and making sure they look good and go to the gym and doing all this, that, and the third. Like, their spirit not where you need it to be. They don't got time for that.
But the other way around, you'll never be disappointed. If you search for the spiritual things, that person's looks will, I promise you, that shit don't even.
Oh yeah.
I used to date this dude.
Look good real quick.
Listen, I used to date this dude. I'm not gonna say his name because he's probably still following me. We still cool. But I used to date this guy, and my family used to be like, Raquel. And I'm like, y'all don't fucking, I don't see. At first, when I met him, I was like, because he was like this color, like he black, but he was like this color. And I was just like, oh, he's so red. And like all these physical things that I was like having an issue with, right? But when I started talking to him and he started touching me on that spiritual, man, all that shit, that was the most finest man I ever met in my life. You couldn't tell me he wasn't fine because he was fine from the inside. The other shit, it just made him even more attractive to me. Now I'm like, he walking around, why you think you bitches want me? Because I want you so bad that I can't even see the fact that you wasn't even all that fine to begin with.
Stop playing with me.
Because I don't want to share your beautiful spirit with no damn body. Like, that's why. Like, but that's because, promise you, if you look for the physical things, you will be disappointed. But if you look for the spiritual things, you'll never be disappointed who you end up with, because that's what it's all about. This shit will shed, okay? But if you could not think of it like if all the lights went out and you had to talk to that motherfucker. Most of the people that y'all think is fine, you would not want to talk to that motherfucker in the dark. You wouldn't. You'd be like, damn, you stupid. You are ignorant, motherfucker. Like, you would not like them. But that person that you would not give a chance to, you sit there in the dark, you be like, damn. Oh, they would make you mentally wet. And you won't even give them a minute of your time. Like, that's crazy.
That's some real shit.
For real.
That's real shit.
Yeah, we gotta adjust our standards to what our spirit wants. Fuck what your physical wants, because the physical is temporary. The spirit is forever, and your soul is forever. So don't give in to just what your physical wants, because that physical need is gonna change every time. It's gonna change. Like, I used to think that my husband was fine. Now you couldn't even, if you look like that, Bama, you can go some fucking way. I don't want to see. Yeah. You don't look good at all, because I know you spiritually. I know you spiritually, and you dirty spiritually, so I can't even.
I'm not attracted to you, bro. Get away from
me. This is an example. I'm not talking about him per se. I don't want to get sued, but yeah, you know. But yeah, that's what happened. So we get so caught up in and it was physical for him, because I told people the story. He looked like somebody I was in love with, and it was just, he looked exactly like him. It was a physical attraction first, and it wasn't that person. It wasn't the same spirit, it wasn't the same soul, it wasn't nothing. I'm speaking from experience, y'all. If you go by that, you'll never be happy. But if you go by what your soul is telling you, go down that path, man, the beauty you will see in other people, it'll be like Shallow Hal. You remember the movie Shallow Hal? Yeah. He thought the big girl was slim because he went by like what his spirit, it bases what your spirit was seeing.
He was seeing people's spirit, how they really felt about themselves, and how their energy really was. So he would see the beauty. I like that. I feel like we need another one of those with more like spiritual intentions in it.
Absolutely. That was Shallow Hal is a great movie. It gets to the point of We got to think deeper than that. Like, and that's what I'm saying, that we got to heal, because all of this physical stuff is because of Instagram. It's because of all this TV, BBLs, and all this. It's because it's an overexposure. Back in the day, you had a man, you had a phone. There wasn't no TV on your phone. There wasn't no pictures on your phone. It wasn't nobody else looking. Like, if you wanted his number, he had to give it to you. It's not no Instagram where you could just scroll through, start following people and doing. It's
Right.
all of that's oversaturation was so people would start cheating, so people would start breaking up, so people would think they have chances with people you don't even have chances with. Y'all out here thinking you got chances with people you don't even have chances with, because Instagram got you thinking that they like you and you like them. Weird shit. Weird shit when you got real life people right here in front of your face that you won't even give the time of day on, and that really physically may be there, because all of this oversaturation of the social media. I think it's just, if it really ruined relationships. MySpace, all them Joes, when people started doing all of that, it was too many ways to communicate. It was too many ways to be sneaky. It's too many ways to do all of that stuff. And now we just in a place where everybody
there to you. Like, these are tools. I like these tools because it expands my classroom. My classroom is worldwide now. It's not just in Burlington, area. So, like, when you get this tool in your hand, ask your spirit, why is this what I want to do with this tool? Out of all the things I could do with this tool of communication, of education, I was about to say 3 words at one time. Education, edification, all of that shit. And I'm using it to mistreat someone, to be deceitful, to be conniving, to be manipulative, to go against, my moral and ethical code I've established with this person that I'm with. Cheating means that we establish rules here. There's rules here. And I'm trying to be sneaky and deceitful and go against those rules and not get caught. Now, that is not the same thing as you being open and honest about the kind of relationship structure you prefer or whatever, and that person that you with just like, oh, I think I could change them, and they're staying with you or whatever. That's 2 different things. Both times, y'all need to come together and have some conversations or move apart from each other because y'all don't want the same shit. But it's 2 different things. So, like, and I think that I know for a fact that a lot of these gender and relationship preferences people have are social media influence. Because you believe in your soul, you have access to 5 or 6 different women. Now you want to be poly because 5 or 6 different women are inboxing you from where they're at. Then you turn around and date them or go through them, and now you irritated. You're like, I still want 5 or 6 because at that one period of time I had 5 or 6, so I can get that again. It's just not gonna be them women. I think a lot of that is, like you said, that mindset that I can get anybody, I can gather people or whatever, what have you. You're going to see, especially with the Virgo sun putting the spotlight on the sacral chakra Pisces energy, you're going to see a lot of these influencers that be influencing people on their gender and relationship roles and all that shit. They shit going to come out. Like Brother Polite is a big one. I never followed that man. I never gave a fuck about him. I never was like, hey, did you watch that Brother Polite video? Fuck him. You know when I knew to say fuck him? He did an interview in his beginnings. He did an interview with his wife and his girlfriend. Brother Polite. That he just got
okay.
Yeah. Jail. That nigga's going to jail. And he deserves it. I mean, listening to the interview, first of all, I saw in the body language, this is not love here. There's a lot of blocking off of energy. My back is to energy. My arms is crossed. Facial expressions prior to saying certain things. It was just a lot of telltales. Like, y'all up here lying. Y'all do not like this familiar structure this man is trying to impose upon y'all. Y'all lying. Same thing with that other dude and his wife and his girlfriend. I feel like his Piscean energy about to come out too. In fact, it already did. Me and Danielle was talking about it recently. That nigga be lying too. What's his name? Kevin something or whatever. Him and his wife and his girlfriend. You could tell in the pictures. It's always like someone always feels off or irritated in the photos, and he's just up there having a jolly good time because his ego is stroked. I even dated a polyamorous man. And I saw, in fact, I dated a few polyamorous men. I dated married couples before. And I could see a lot of this is about a man's ego. This has absolutely nothing to do with the woman. I don't give a fuck what we're talking about. When I dated the one married couple, I really like cared about the wife. She was cool, whatever. But I could tell for him it was a control thing. Because I don't like to be told what to do. One thing y'all men gonna learn about me is you cannot tell me what the fuck to do. I'm hard-headed as shit.
Oh my God.
and I could tell that he had like this woman, his wife, so much because she just would go along and get along with whatever the fuck he wanted. That's why I'm even here to begin with. Because you just going along, getting along. So what does Sunshine do? I start a riot because that's what the fuck I do. Sis, you ain't got to put up with this shit no more. Fuck him. You got me now. Let's go out and let's get into the sunset together. So, dealing with that and then dealing with this polyamorous man, I could tell that he liked this energy because he liked the way other men. It had nothing to do with him. It didn't have anything to do with us that he was dead. It had everything to do with other men. When we go into places, he always made sure he was holding both of our hands or touching both of us a certain way and looking at the other men in the room like, yeah, I got two of them. And I felt that. And that made me feel some type of way because fuck you. I'm about to go sit with them. Because I'm not feeling to be a part of your ego ornament. I don't give a fuck about your ego, bro.
Right. It's an ego trip.
I want to be treated because it's not enough. You're not man enough to have two women. You know what I'm saying? You don't even deserve two women if I keep it 100. You really put in a facade in front of these other men. So me being in the, and this is why I don't go talking about my romantic escapades to people because I do whatever the fuck I want. If I wake up one morning and say, hey, I think I want to do this, and then I go do it. So me being in these kind of relationships, I got to see firsthand, like a lot of this shit is phony. A lot of this shit is male ego driven. It's so that y'all can show off in a room of other men. It has nothing to do with family, village, economics, none of that shit. Because keeping it 100, we're supposed to be the women. That means we're supposed to be home, homeschooling the kids, cooking, cleaning, growing the food, cleaning, like doing all this stuff while you go work. You're supposed to be the one working. Not all of us working. We all not supposed to be at work. Because who's raising the fucking kids? Who's teaching the kids? Who's growing the
First
food?
of all, if you got a whole bunch of wives, you're supposed to be able to take care of all of them. So if you got all these wives, you're supposed to take care of them.
They be broke as shit complaining
about. Oh, you got a bunch of wives so they can all work and take care of you?
That's all they do is complain about one wife to the other wife, and then go to the other wife about the other wife, and this one about that one. And I'm like, no. You're not even doing this right. This is supposed to be unity. So now you're pulling women against each other because we all love you, and you creating a nasty taste in our mouth for the other woman because how she's treating you. Don't do that. Y'all don't even know how to do this shit correctly.
That's why I can't do that. I can't do the poly Joan. Yeah, any man who into that poly Joan, don't look over here because I ain't doing it. If you can't be just me and you, then it can't be us. It just can't happen this lifetime. Maybe next lifetime. It won't be us. I'm not sharing shit. You better than me. You didn't try it. She said I tried it.
I thought
all right, because I know me.
I in a period of time where I felt like, you know what? Let me just try it, see what happened. I feel like all y'all men on the same type time right now, so let me see. And I was like, oh hell no, this shit messy.
No, I'm good on that.
I'd rather you just cheat on me, bro.
Right. I'm not doing that. Yeah.
Just be better at being a liar. I can't. This open shit is dumb.
Yeah, I think I watched too many of those shows where seeking sister wives. It made me be like, nah, I'm good on that, John, because the man was always doing some fucked up shit to get the other woman, and it's like you ain't even tell your wife you was doing this, and like how is it open when it's really not open, and you're not even playing by the right rules? And it's like, to me, if we poly, you know what I'm saying? So you can get another woman. Can I get another husband? I can't. Okay, this is weird. It's unfair. It's not my type of poly. You know, if you could get another wife, I could have another husband. Because when you with your other wife, what I'm supposed to be doing?
That's why I said you're not even man enough because you giving money to somebody else. We could have went on a trip. You giving somebody else attention, bro. I got mad music that needs to be marketed. I got a business that you need to be shaking hands with and telling people I exist. I got clothes that I need you to help me design. I got kids I need you to help me to raise. You should be doing math and science with my kids, not over there with wife number 3 and 4. You don't have time for other women when you're with me. I'm a very, very big energy. And if you have time to do that, I can. Listen, I can
Listen.
100% guarantee that you're not giving me everything I want. And I'm still on Facebook dating looking for your replacement. I can 100% guarantee that shit. Don't play with me. I see you now. You're not paused no more.
Facts. Well, since I think we done went through the, I don't even know how we started. We done went down the poly. We didn't talk about. We didn't talk. You know we could do that. First of all, shout out to you. Happy belated birthday. Solar return to my sister. I didn't get to say that early when we first came on, but happy. Girl, I'm so happy for you. Then I asked you what you doing, and your ass is doing mommy things. I said, what you doing? Cleaning up and doing this and making coffee. I said, oh Lord, welcome to the old people club. Clean up and make coffee for your birthday. Sounds like some old people shit to me. So tomorrow night, tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening.
Yes.
Yeah, I see. So tomorrow evening, I want to do a celebration of sunshine. I want to celebrate your birthday. I want to play your music. I want to talk to you about what you got going on. I know you got a lot going on that you can share with us tomorrow. So y'all, if y'all want to tap into Pronoia Starseed podcast, my daughter gets off of work on time tomorrow, so I should be on time, 7:00. There on time, y'all. So make sure you tap in tomorrow for a day of sunshine. I want to celebrate my sister's birthday. I think it's a beautiful that number that you have reached. I don't know if you want me to share it, but that number is very powerful. That's right. That 33 is a very powerful number. I think, so yes, I would love to share that. If y'all want to come over and celebrate with us, I'm hoping that I can get my roadcaster popping because I want to play music and all that good shit. But if not, I'm going to pray that my producer is available tomorrow around 7 p.m., sir, so that we can get it popping and get that sunshine music popping. But yeah, sunshine, I hope you had a great birthday. And anything else before we roll out tonight?
Y'all check my YouTube page, Let's Nobodies. I did the planetary forecast, and then I also did the hump day readings up there. They up there, and then y'all can check the affirmation playlist up there. Okay, so when we have the eclipse, I got a flyer coming out. Be patient with me. But October 14th and October 28th is when we have our solar and our lunar eclipse. I want to do a collective seance on both of these days. For our liberation, I want to have an eclectic form of diviners, like whatever your practice may be. If we could come together at a collective time, I'll have the time and everything on the flyer. I'll have the flyer made by tonight, so tomorrow when we're on the show, I'm more detail oriented with it. But I would like for us to be able to come together and really manifest our liberation from this matrix and give light to the matrix that we want to be in as a collective. So I have some like crystal diviners. What is it? Divinationers? What the fuck is it?
Yeah. I don't know.
That sounds dumb. Diviners. So I got crystal diviners. I got numerologists. I got tarot readers. I got singers. I got seance people. I got people that's good with the sound frequency, John. I got myself with the affirmations. I got people that know how to put motherfuckers in jars. So hopefully we got a little, politician juju Johns and put them in jars together at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah, I want all of that happening during these eclipses, during the Scorpio season or whatever. I was really tapping into that energy, setting our intentions so that we can have. I'm very excited because I'm on a lot of different spiritual platforms, so I can't wait to see the outcome for this one. But yeah, this is. I think it's time for us to be more intentional with our magic and stop doing it for dead notes. Because we're still giving our magic away to these people, to these corporations. So I think it's an awesome opportunity to redirect our magic towards one another and building one another and giving light to that village we were talking about. In addition to that, October 1st, mark y'all calendars. Nomination opens back up for Cosmic Nobody's Convention.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Get your nominations in early, y'all. Early.
Yes.
And yes, thank you, sister. That is wonderful. That sounds like a great opportunity to use that energy of the eclipses. And you're right, be more intentional with what we are bringing upon us because we are the creators, y'all. We are just creating shit with our thoughts and our words. But we need to be a lot more intentional That's it for me. Pronoia Starseed podcast. We will be on again tomorrow to celebrate Sunshine Monet L. Also, y'all, I had my film debut. I actually filmed the new Mojo video. Yeah. The new Mojo video from Enoch 7 Prophet will be out on October the 13th, y'all. So make sure you tap in for that. Also, I filmed 2 videos. That's right, 2 videos. So Don't Rap is coming out. Don't Rap. He'll be giving up more information on that. It'll be out before the end of October. So, y'all, we got a lot going on. Yes, I have been using all of my intentions to manifest this because back in my head, y'all, believe it or not, when I was a little girl, I always wanted to do videos. Always. And so to have this opportunity, I would love for y'all to tap in on October the 13th and watch the Mojo video. Is going to be so dope. I promise you, you will not be disappointed.
Mojo, so dope.
Yes. Troubles weigh heavy on me. So yes, make sure you tap into that Enoch 7 Prophet, Pronoia Starseed podcast tomorrow, 7 o'clock. We celebrating my sister, Sunshine Monet L. Make sure y'all tap in to Pronoia Starseed podcast. Thank you, Knowledge Born Allah, for always giving us this platform. I'm sorry I was a little bit late. You know, I was doing mommy duty, but I love you. I love you, sis. And I'll see you tomorrow at 7. Peace.
Yes, I love y'all. Y'all make sure y'all remember Thursdays is the SOS day now. No more Saturdays. We here on Thursdays.
Yes,
now.
Thursdays, every other Thursday. Peace, y'all.
Oh, I'm leaving.
Hey.